my shirt? Oh no, you have writing on yours too. Mine says I love Chick-fil-A.
Yo, that's a good one. It's a bonus. Okay, everybody, we are back and we are going to be flipping these two pieces. We started this one we did for a presentation. We're not loving it right now, so that's the beauty of this. We can do whatever we want. We're gonna keep the hardwares. This is the original. And Sheila and I have been discussing, we're probably gonna go a Fusion Mineral Paint. Which one?
Probably cappuccino or driftwood.
Okay.
Over the top, we've already painted it white. So we're gonna do a faux wood stain
This
to
is gonna be
create
cool.
a faux wood look.
I don't even know how to do that, so this will be new for us. But as you can see, this was midnight blue, and we're gonna change the bottom color now to what?
I don't know.
I don't know,
We'll see how the top comes out. You guys always ask us, do you know what you're doing when you start?
No!
Sometimes we think we do, but it always changes.
It like 100% of the time changes.
This just didn't give us the vibe that we thought it was going to.
Yeah, so stick around. Let's see what we're gonna do.
To get this piece ready, we gotta take the cell stickers off, and then the top is really, really, really scratched. So we are going to sand down the scratches after we clean it and give the sides and the drawers a scuff sand.
Let me take a look at those scuffs on the top.
Pretty bad, actually.
Oh yeah.
They're just gouged right in there.
So there's no way we really could like save this and keep it natural because it looks hammered, right?
Well, we could sand it and restain it if we wanted.
But we're gonna add a little bit of color to somebody's life. All right, while Sheila is gonna work on figuring out what we're gonna do with that one, I am going to get started on cleaning. First step is vacuuming, and then I'm gonna take my soapy mixture water and my green sponge and get after this and get all the little nooks and crannies, because you want a clean surface before you put anything on. Okay, so we have our clean piece, and now we're gonna give the top a complete sand down to the raw wood. We're gonna use 120 grit, and then the rest of the piece we're gonna do a scuff sand. We are now ready to paint, and we're going with something bold. We're doing Fusion Mineral Paint Mustard.
Mustard.
Oh my gosh, can you even believe this?
This is so out of our comfort zone, but we're super excited.
Okay, so after we do the mustard on the bottom, we're going to do a dark stain on top. So let's get to work. Oh gosh.
I always pour my paint out into a separate container because I don't want to contaminate my paint that you know costs a lot of money with a paintbrush. I'll store it in here. I have the lid. I can use it until I'm done. Then I can pour this back in if there's any leftovers. We're getting ready to stain the top of this. This piece has been prepped. It had tons of gouges, and so we sanded those smooth. We didn't need to sand the whole top off.
Yep. So
This top, we sanded it smooth because this one had tons of gouges also. And we painted it white. We thought we were gonna go that direction. Now we're not. We don't wanna re-sand it. So what we're gonna do is put a gel stain on the top of the white paint and create a faux wood finish.
We're gonna use the Minwax gel stain in walnut color, and let's get after it.
Using a black foam brush to apply the gel stain, and then I'll toss it when I'm done.
Oh, what are we doing out here today?
What aren't we doing out here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this piece. We've decided to paint the top white, and we put one coat on, and if you notice, we've already got some bleed through coming through just from the wood, and that happens. So we're gonna use our handy dandy Zinsser bin shellac.
Hold still. Zinsser.
Bin.
Look, it almost says Sheila, but it says shellac.
Actually, one of our followers said, I thought that said Sheila. Maybe we can name it.
Yeah.
Zinsser bin Sheila shellac.
Okay.
We're gonna spray it on these spots, and that's gonna prevent the bleed through, and then our next coat of white will go on better.
Do we spray this all over?
I'm just spraying it on the spots that are bleeding through. You could spray it all over.
And then it just kind of dries and then we can paint?
Yep.
Guys, look how cute our little mustard tables are. Okay, it's work day. It's sister work day. We are working on the mustards and we're adding new hardware. So we had to drill new holes, and that's always our favorite part. Eek! And then we had to fix some things. So Sheila added wood putty yesterday, and now we're getting ready to sand with our Surf Prep sander. The reason we added in this wood putty was because the existing handles that were in an oval shape had dug so far into the wood that it would have been noticeable, because our new handles are not cup shaped. So we added in the wood putty. Sanding is done, and you can see the original hardware holes and the oval mark from the original hardware. That one's really noticeable, and that one too. Okay, so now Sheila is gonna add some spray shellac. Why are you adding spray shellac?
Well, because we have two different surfaces here. We've got our painted surface. Now we have our new filled-in surface with the putty. So this putty will take the paint differently, and it'll show our finish differently. So we're gonna use the spray shellac to even out the surface so that when we put the paint on it, it adheres evenly.
So does this take the place of a primer?
It kind of is the same. We use shellac or a spray shellac or a bin shellac primer because that is more of a stain blocker, especially on pine when you've got these knots that are coming through. You want a block. So we're going for the block today.
Okay. Okay, we're going to be working on the tops because, as you can see, we need to tape off the yellow and work on the white top now. We love the frog tape, the absolute best. I know there's the blue tape that people love, but gosh dang it.
And this one is a little more expensive, but honestly, it's worth the extra.
Yep.
For the results that you get.
And just make a nice tight crease there, and that blocks everything. All right, status report, checking in on the mustards. The bases have one coat of Fusion Mineral paint in the color mustard. This top had been sanded down halfway, and then we put on a spray of shellac. Yes, Sheila?
Yes.
And then we put on one coat of raw silk Fusion Mineral paint. Now, this top, let's not even discuss what we were doing. We don't even know what this one was. It's changed like 3 times.
You know, you guys always ask us if we know what we're doing right when we start.
This is an epic fail.
This evolved, and this one is not gonna fly.
No.
The stain color, ew, ended up gross. Doesn't match the yellow. Clashes big time. Yeah, no.
So we've taped off the top to protect the bottom. This one will get a coat of raw silk fusion mineral paint. And then we will work on the drawers, add the handles, and we shall be done. It's gonna be fun, huh, Sheila?
It's gonna be amazing.
Progress so far is we have 3 coats of paint, or 2? 3.
Actually, so we have 2 different things going on. This one was stained. First, we hated the color, then we decided to paint it. So this one actually has a coat of white, a coat of stain, 1 coat of white. That's where we're at on that one.
Okay.
This one actually, this was sanded the entire way down.
No, we didn't sand it the entire way down. We did it halfway.
Almost, yeah. 2 coats of white. We've got some bleed through coming through, so we sprayed a coat of shellac. We're on our 3rd coat of white.
Okay, and we are using raw silk fusion mineral paint. All right, so, and also a little funny thing, this used to be navy and we decided to go a different route. So you can see how that has just 1 coat on it, and we had to drill new holes for new hardware. So these pieces have had quite a bit of transformation.
Because change is good.
And change is good. So now Sheila is just working on the 3rd coat, and it's not watered down. And
straight up paint.
then, you know what? We're so close. We're gonna finish these with some polyurethane for a top coat and add the new hardware, and then we will be done. Why are you sanding the top?
I just had a few brush strokes that I didn't like, so I'm using super, super fine grit.
Okay.
And just kind of going over it until I get it to the texture that is acceptable to me.
Okay, and then are you done with painting?
Yes.
Okay.